there, my name is Allison and I'm here at Griffing Company to cover the second portion of the Tax Organizer video series. So in last week's video we talked about the general questions you need to answer, we talked about dependents and wages, and then finally we talked about interest and dividend income. So in this week's video we're going to be discussing foreign assets and business income. So when we say foreign assets, we only mean a bank account in a foreign country, a trust in a foreign country, owning land or owning part of a company in a foreign country. So we don't want you to confuse this with a domestic company like Fidelity or Merrill Lynch that holds stocks for you in another country's index, because those are American companies and American income. The next 4 pages all talk about business income and expenses. So that means if you have a sole proprietorship, or if you're a freelancer, or if you do any kind of independent contract work where you're sent a 1099 miscellaneous at the end. So the first page covers income and cost of goods sold, and it looks like this. And this top section asks just general questions about your business, what kind of business it is, its address, things like that. Then this next section is for income. Now in income, we have any transactions that you had through PayPal, Venmo, checks, cash receipts, all of that needs to be listed as income. And of course you can provide any kind of documentation for that and stick it in the tax organizer. Under miscellaneous income right here, it says 1099 miscellaneous. So a lot of times if you do work for somebody and you make over $600 for a given job, or for a bunch of different jobs throughout the year from this one client, then they will send you a 1099 miscellaneous at the end of the year, and you need to make sure you send that to us. And then finally, at the bottom of the page, under cost of goods sold, that's the section down here, we recommend only filling this out if you are a company or individual who sells a product. All of your expenses, if you sell a service, will be on the page following this. But if you sell a product, you should be following throughout the year what kind of materials you need to produce your inventory, and then the value of your inventory throughout the year. So you can send us a profit and loss statement to fill this section out. And the following page covers expenses, property, and equipment. So you'll want to break out all of your expenses into advertising, trucks, payments, wages, legal, professional fees, everything like that, because they are expensed differently on your tax return. And we list a section here just for other expenses if there's anything else you'd like to include. And finally down here it says property and equipment. So this is for anything that's a larger purchase that's going to last longer than a year. So if you got new machinery or a computer or a truck or something like that, then you'll want to list that at the bottom of the page right here. So moving right along, we're going to talk about vehicles that are used for your work now. So either the vehicle is used entirely for your business, or it has a mixture of business and personal use. If the vehicle is entirely used for your business, then that means the car can only go from your workplace to client 1, client 2, back to your work, and it does not go to your house ever. In which case you just need to track your miles from January 1st to December 31st. And also worth noting, at the top of the page we have some questions here. One of those questions is, do you maintain a written policy statement that prohibits all personal use of vehicles, including commuting by your employees? Now, this needs to be checked yes if you're using the car entirely for business purposes, otherwise you are asking for an audit. And the other option, which is much more common, is that the car is used as a combination of business and personal, in which case you'll need to track which miles were used for personal use and which ones were used for the business. And a lot of people have an app on their phone that they just turn off and on during those times, and it logs all the miles for you. So on the second half of the page, we ask for the details about the vehicle, and then here are the two ways that you have to record the expenses from using your vehicle for work. So the first one is just to track the total number of miles used for work and compare this with the federal government's mileage rate, which in this year 2020 is 57.5 cents per mile. And that's the way that most people do it. They just track the miles. But then the other option can save some people a lot of money, so you should know about it as well. But that is a matter of tracking all of the expenses associated with using your car for business. So this includes gasoline, oil, repairs, insurance, interest, taxes, and vehicle rental or leases. And the final topic we're going to talk about in this video is the business use of home page. So this is if you have a home office or a shed where you store your inventory or something like that. So it's a space in your home that is dedicated for your business and used exclusively for your business. So if that applies to you, then you can fill out this page, and we just ask about the square footage of your home in total, and then compare that with the amount that is used exclusively for your business. There's also a couple questions here that ask if your home was used for daycare, in which case some different rules apply. And then as far as expenses with using your home as your place of business, then you can either have direct expenses or indirect expenses. So for example, if you have insurance on your home, that would be an indirect expense because it covers the entire home, not just the room where you have your home office. And a lot of these direct versus indirect expenses really go case by case, so this is something for you to talk to your CPA about if it applies to you. So that concludes the second part of this video series. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media. We're here to help. So thanks for watching.